Okay, welcome to our 2003 E39 5 Series Wagon test drive. This is an S62 powered wagon, as you all know by now. I do have the exhaust cut out open at the moment just because it's so much fun and sounds so great. And we're just gonna go up this highway real quick. That wasn't too much wind for you. We'll kick on the AC for our jaunt back down and then do our regular test drive route. You can hear the exhaust plenty well with the windows up. But at the moment we've got 118,658 miles on this car. My consignment customer bought this car on Bring a Trailer in 2019. He has since passed away, unfortunately, so I'm selling this car for his family. I've sold several other cars that were his. One he sent me to sell. I'll be quiet for a minute here. Anyway, when he was alive, he sent me his 540i, 1992 or 93 540i Mercedes-Benz. That was a Rentec modified 6-liter car, which was pretty incredible, that I sold on Bring a Trailer. That was the first of his cars that I sold. And then I sold his 928 GTS a couple years ago. Originally owned by Charlie Sheen. That was another one I did on Bring a Trailer. Last summer I sold his is it an E31? No, gosh, I'm blanking. Sorry. His 88 M5, which was absolutely one of the most incredible cars I've ever worked with. Most fun, one of the most fun to drive. He just had super cool stuff, and he took really good care of it. We're gonna just go straight here, actually. I had the car out earlier, so it's properly warmed up. Don't think that I'm just running it like this on cold oil. This gentleman used to come on my Walleye 1000 vintage rally every year. I think I did that event in Minnesota six times, and I think he came on the last 3 or 4 of them. And he always brought his BMW Z1. Funky one, that the European car that, you know, you push the doors down to get in and out. It was really a pretty amazing car from just a design and technology standpoint. A lot of E30 stuff in that car, but it handled beautifully and had a really cool airfoil underneath. The aerodynamics were really cool. he always encouraged people, would always want to trade cars with people on the rally. So he wanted people to drive the Z1. I don't know if he wanted to drive whatever they had, but it was really because he wanted people to experience the Z1 because he loved that car. And that one he sold to another friend of mine, a guy who used to come on the Walleye 1000 vintage rally in his old E30 convertible that had a detachable hardtop, which was a very cool option for the E30 convertible. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that the guy who bought this car on Bring a Trailer for $72,000 plus fees a few years ago had some really great stuff. He also had a Citroen SM, which I think the gentleman who maintained that car for him for many years ended up selling that for the family. This is just such a rock solid machine. You know, the videos that the guy who sold it the first time on Bring a Trailer, who built the car, who owned it for many years, I think he bought it as a certified pre-owned car. If you look at the records in 2006, he took some great videos of the car for that auction, better than I could do, explaining every modification and change that he made beyond just the 6-speed manual and the S62 out of an M5 sedan with about 50,000 miles on it. The whole iDrive system, I think when I watched his video, I think that came out of an X5. All kinds of great brakes. Just, he did a fabulous job, and when I look at the build quality of this car, it's just out of sight. When my client or my customer bought this car from that guy, he had him, before he took delivery, he asked the seller, because this guy was a big BMW guy, asked him to put a complete new interior in the car. So if you look at the photos of the original Bring a Trailer auction, I think it was like a light beige interior. And that gentleman, for my client, he put in this sort of dark brown leather door panels, seats, front seats, back seats, and you can read his comment about how the guy who sold it. You can read one of the comments on the last auction after it was sold. He wrote about how the guy who bought it, my client, wanted to have a new interior put in, so he did that. Chose from, you know, a big thick color swatch book, and this is the color that he wanted. It's just a wicked machine. Really solid over bumps. It's just the coolest car. What BMW should have built, of course. That's 50 miles an hour, so you can have plenty of fun shifting this car at legal speeds. I might have gone over the speed limit a little bit on this test drive, but not a whole lot. I am going to do a hard brake here, so you can see what that looks like. Dare say my bag on the passenger seat is going to go flying forward, but let's just do that. Yeah, and it went flying, of course, but it doesn't pull either way. It's just a very civilized machine. And if you want it to be really civilized, I just close the exhaust. So we'll do a run up the hill. And you can hear the difference. It still sounds good. The exhaust isn't free-flowing, but just a little bit different. You know what we might do? Which way are we going to go here? We've got traffic either way. Let's go this way. Civilized exhaust note, which has still got its charm, certainly. Just tight as a drum, this car. I love the M5 sedan. I got a chance a couple years ago to cruise Highway 1 in Monterey during Car Week in a friend's M5 between Carmel and Big Sur, which is always a nice drive, no matter what you're driving, but an M5 sedan, it's a pretty cool run. Okay, so we're just gonna go around this roundabout. I mean, I could just do this all day between the roundabouts. Perfectly well behaved at normal highway speeds. Just a killer machine. Good service records on this car. Of course, the last guy had great service records from 2006 to 2019, and then most of the records, there's some records from under the current ownership, but they aren't, according to the son who I'm working with, he doesn't think they're all there. I know he knows they aren't all there, but there's quite a bit of documentation. And I really encourage you to look at the previous auction and the great videos by the original seller of the car. Is our test drive of the BMW M5 Wagon.